The boy's hand trembled as he lifted it in the air, fingers spread, palm open, the silent distress signal he had seen once on a TV show. His eyes glistened with tears, his small lips quivering as he looked toward the towering man in a black leather vest. The stranger stood frozen in the grocery aisle, his tattooed fists tightening by instinct, but his eyes softening as realization hit him. Something was wrong, terribly wrong. Before we dive deeper into this story, if you believe in kindness, courage, and second chances, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share it with your friends. Your support helps us bring more true and heart-touching stories to life. It was a quiet Wednesday afternoon in a suburban grocery store, one of those calm, forgettable days when people just go about their business. But for a rugged biker named Jack Steele Morgan, it was supposed to be just another quick stop for snacks before his motorcycle ride out of town. The bearded man, covered in tattoos and chains, was known around the streets as a member of the local Hells Angels chapter, someone most people instinctively avoided. His heavy boots echoed against the floor as he walked down the snack aisle, scanning for beef jerky. That's when he heard it, a faint sob. A child's voice, shaking, like someone trying not to cry. Jack turned slightly and saw a boy, maybe 7 or 8 years old, clutching the hand of a man with a serpent tattoo curling up his arm. The man's grip was tight, too tight, and the boy's wrist looked red where the fingers pressed into his skin. The child's eyes darted desperately around the store, searching for someone, anyone. And then, it happened. The boy lifted his free hand, his palm facing outward, fingers curled then tucked inside, signaling "help me." Jack froze, his breath catching. He'd seen that same signal online, a distress gesture used by people in danger, especially by children. Jack's heart thumped heavily. He didn't know this kid, didn't know the story, but instinct roared inside him. He started walking slowly toward them, his biker boots heavy on the tile. The man holding the boy glanced up, instantly tensing when he saw Jack's imposing figure coming closer. "Everything all right, kid?" Jack's voice was deep but calm, laced with a strange gentleness that surprised even him. The boy's eyes widened, tears brimming, and he shook his head just slightly. Jack knew then, this wasn't a misunderstanding, this was real. For a moment, time slowed. Shoppers pushed carts unaware, music hummed faintly from the speakers above, and in the middle of aisle 9 a quiet war began, one fought not with fists, but with instinct and courage. Jack smiled faintly, pretending to browse the shelves near them, all while slipping his phone out of his pocket. He typed a quick text to his friend Mike, a retired cop, with just 3 words: possible abduction, grocery mart. Jack turned, pretending to be casual, but his eyes stayed locked on the man and the boy. The man's grip tightened again, his body language turning defensive. Jack had seen that look before, the look of a cornered predator. He knew confrontation could make things worse, so he played it smart. "Hey," Jack said with a forced chuckle, holding up a pack of chips. "You think a kid would like these? My nephew's about his age." The man glared, mumbling something about minding his own business, and started tugging the boy away. But Jack stepped sideways, blocking the aisle with his massive frame. The boy looked up again, hope flickering in his eyes for the first time. The next few seconds felt like hours. Jack's phone buzzed, his friend's reply, "Cops on the way, stall him." Jack's mind raced, he had to keep them there. "Easy, brother," he said softly, raising both hands. "No need to rush, just talking." But the man shoved past him, dragging the boy toward the exit. Jack reacted without thinking. He reached out, grabbed the man's arm, and yanked him back. The boy stumbled free, falling to the floor, and began sobbing uncontrollably. The man roared in anger, swinging at Jack, but Jack caught his fist mid-air. The sound of flesh hitting flesh echoed down the aisle. People started screaming. Phones came out. Within moments, a store employee hit the alarm, and the man tried to run, but Jack was faster. He tackled him to the ground, holding him down with the full weight of his muscular frame. By the time police arrived, Jack was still kneeling on the man's back, breathing heavily, while the boy clung to his arm, shaking. Officers rushed in, separating everyone, and quickly discovered the truth. The man had taken the boy from a nearby playground hours earlier. The child's mother had already reported him missing. As the police led the man away in handcuffs, the store filled with murmurs. Some people whispered about the biker hero. Others stood in awe that someone who looked so intimidating had been the boy's savior. Jack stood quietly, his chest still rising and falling, the adrenaline fading into disbelief. The little boy looked up at him again, eyes full of gratitude, trembling lips forming the words, "Thank you." Jack knelt down, his gruff voice soft. "You did the brave thing, kid. You asked for help. That's what heroes do." Hours later, the scene outside the store was crowded with flashing lights, police cars and reporters. Jack didn't stay for the cameras. He slipped away quietly, climbing onto his Harley, trying to process everything. He wasn't used to being the hero. Most people crossed the street when they saw him coming. He had a record, a past he wasn't proud of. But that day, none of it mattered. That day, he was just a man who chose to listen to a cry for help. The next morning, Jack's phone buzzed again, this time with a message from the boy's mother. She had tracked him down through the police. Her words were simple: "You saved my son. You saved my world." Jack stared at the message for a long time, tears stinging his eyes. He had spent years thinking he was too far gone for redemption, but maybe, just maybe, even a man like him could still do something good. The story spread across social media like wildfire. Photos of the tattooed biker holding the crying child filled timelines with captions like "Never judge a book by its cover" and "Angels come in all forms." People who once feared him now saw him differently, as a symbol of courage and compassion. But for Jack, it wasn't about fame or headlines. It was about the boy, that single moment when a child trusted him enough to reach out. It was about redemption found in the most unexpected way, and it was about remembering that sometimes life gives us one chance to do the right thing, and that one act can echo forever. If this story moved your heart, if it reminded you that kindness can come from anyone, anywhere, please take a second to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share it so others can feel inspired too. And before you go, we'd love to know your thoughts. Would you have stepped in like Jack did, even if it meant risking everything? Tell us in the comments below. Your words could inspire someone else to be brave when it matters most. Because sometimes heroes don't wear capes. They wear leather, ride loud bikes, and carry hearts big enough to save a life.